you look at the top, oh, I don't want. Just like we've been doing for the last over a week now. When you use tangent, you have to use opposite over adjacent. When you use sine, you have to use opposite over hypotenuse. When you use cosine, you have to use adjacent over hypotenuse. The difference here is, because we're using inverses, we're going to input the ratio to output the angle. So if you need at the top of your notes to write down, remind yourself that we are using SOHCAHTOA to help us remember which each of these ratios are. Then please write it down. All right. So just in this first one, when we say tangent of inverse, we're looking from angle A. The tangent inverse is BC over AC because that is my opposite and my adjacent. The hypotenuse is the one across the right angle. So sine inverse has to use the O over H, BC over AB, etc., etc. We're going to do a couple of these next ones, and then we'll get to solving triangles today. So look at these first examples. Let A, B, and C be acute angles. Use a calculator to approximate the measures of angle A, B, and C to the nearest tenth of a degree. We're only going to do two of these. We're going to do A and C, I think. Okay. So this is where we're going to use kind of how you solve equations. We do it the exact same way. So if I have tangent of A is equal to 75 degrees. You got a ratio, an angle is what you input and you output a ratio. If, just like on your warm-up when you're solving an equation, if you do the inverse to both sides, so literally if I do tangent inverse of the left and I do tangent inverse of the right, just like if I see +2, I do -2. Something great will happen. These cancel out, right? Because +2 and -2, those cancel each other out. So tangent and tangent inverse cancel each other out, which would leave you with angle A is equal to the tangent inverse of the ratio. So this is where you would first check your calculator, make sure it's in degrees, and then we're going to use the tangent inverse function, which you will find right above tangent. You'll see tangent inverse, tangent with the little -1. You'll press the second button to get it, most likely, and then tangent. Type in your ratio, 0.75, and it should give you the angle measure as long as you're in degrees. So again, that's the second button, and then tangent, you'll see tangent -1, which is the inverse. Type it in, get it yourself now. You should get 36.9 approximately. If you don't, that means your calculator is not in degrees. You need to fix it. If you're not sure where to find it, ask. Where's the tangent? I know where.
36.869897650.
I'm supposed to. Your calculator is a little bit different, just ask them. Okay, so then we would know that our measure of angle A is approximately 36.9 degrees, and we write that in. We're going to skip B, and we're just going to do C. Oh. So it says that the cosine of C is 0.15. So what that means is that we are inputting, again, an angle, output a ratio. So we can flip that. If we apply the cosine inverse to both sides, what happens to cosine inverse of cosine? What happens there? Cancels out. Goodbye. These are gone. So you are left with the measure of angle C, where C is equal to the cosine of -1, so cosine inverse of 0.15. So you're changing your inputs and outputs, you're inputting a ratio to output angle. Type that in, figure out what your cosine, what your measure of angle C is going to be. So 0.15. Should be approximately 81.4. So measure of angle C is about 81.4 degrees. Okay. Let's look at the next one's multiple choice. We have to decide which of these are correct. The first two are looking from angle J, so let's mark that as like your reference angle. So if we're looking from angle J, then JL is my adjacent, this is my opposite, that's my hypotenuse. Okay. So it's saying sine inverse of the ratio JL over JK. Remember we talked about when you use the inverses, you still have to put in these same ratios. So if I'm using sine inverse, I have to use opposite over hypotenuse for angle J. So if I have JL and JK, is that the opposite and the hypotenuse? No. Okay, next one. Tangent inverse, so we have to use opposite over adjacent. Tangent inverse from angle J is KL over JL. Is that correct? Yes. Because that is my opposite over adjacent. And so that works. You guys talk appropriate times. Sweet. We're only doing 2 more examples. The ones in the back are solving right triangles. You've done one like the second one before, which is why I'm going to probably let you do that one on your own. But the first one you've not done, because today's your first day talking about inverses. There's a little poster over here. You can write this down in your notes if you want to. So you're either going to be given 2 side lengths. If you're given 2 side lengths, then you're going to need to use inverses to find one of the missing angles probably first. And then you'll use Pythagorean theorem to find the third side. You can subtract to find the other angle. So you'll have to use trig once, but you're using inverses. If you have one side and one angle, you'll have to use your regular trig to solve for one of the sides. And then use Pythagorean theorem and then subtract to find the third angle. So you'll always end up using the subtraction and Pythagorean theorem once. It just depends on how you start. So this one. Do you have any angles right now? Besides 90? No. So you're going to have to use inverses to solve for one of the missing angles right now. I'm going to use the same process we've been using, just because I would say for most students this is pretty helpful. So I'd like you to write it down. It'll be kind of up to you if you use it moving forward, but I'm going to teach it to you today. Because of preference, would you like to solve for angle B or angle A? Okay, A, I heard loud and clear. We're going to solve for angle A then. Great. So if we're using angle A, then we have to use 3 and 2. Those are the only sides I have. 3 is what to angle A? Opposite, and 2 is adjacent. So I'm doing O over A, opposite over adjacent from angle A. I know this is weird because it's all letters right now. Equals opposite over adjacent from angle, some angle. We're going to call it angle A right now. Okay? And now let's replace what we know. We know that on the new triangle that would be 3 over 2, opposite over adjacent. And O over A is which ratio? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Tangent. So we have to use tangent of angle A, which we do not know what that is yet. In order to get angle A by itself, you have to do what to both sides? What's the opposite of tangent? Tangent inverse. So on both sides, you're going to do the tangent inverse. And just like when you solve an equation, a normal equation, these two things, tangent inverse and tangent, those cancel out, which means they're no longer there. So all you'll have left is the tangent inverse of 3 over 2 is equal to angle A. So you go to your calculator and type in tangent inverse of 3/2, and you should get your missing angle. A. To do that, use the second button, and to type in 3/2, you have to do 3 divided by 2. Like so. You should get 56.3, do it yourself. Make sure you know how to type in a fraction. So we know the measure of angle A now is approximately 56.3 degrees. To find the other angle, you can just subtract. You don't have to do that again. That would be ridiculous. No need to. So my other angle, if I subtract from 180, anybody have the other angle yet? I do 180 minus 56.3 minus 90, I should find the other angle. 33.7, yeah. Okay. And then to find the third side, you need to use Pythagorean theorem. So we would be doing 3 squared plus 2 squared equals c squared. Please solve for your third side. Leave your answer in simplest radical form instead of giving a decimal. I believe you're going to leave your answer as the square root of 13. So you have found all your missing pieces now. You have the third side, you have the 2 other angles, you have solved the triangle because you found all the missing pieces. On the last one, you have to start. Well, you could find your missing angle first if you want. That'd be pretty easy to do. But then you have to use regular trigonometry. So not inverses because you're not solving for an angle, but the same kind of trig we've been doing for the last 2 weeks almost. I'm going to let you do that one pretty much on your own. Go ahead and do that. Work with people around you. I should see you using Pythagorean theorem once at the end. That'll be probably your last step. But before that, you have to use regular trigonometry to solve for one of the missing sides. So that needs to happen first, and then you can use Pythagorean theorem. Whenever you solve for all the missing sides and all the missing angles, you can start on your assignment. It'll be on Big Ideas Math. if you want a shortcut, you don't have to use a decimal value at this point. You could just use cosine of 52 in your calculator, but decimals are fine too. Mm-hmm.
Do we use 4 digits?
Yeah, 4. Is that 10.9? Your missing angle should be 38.